Hey, comrades, what's up? Let me turn this fan off. All right, so we're back with the X-Men. And this time we're doing the Hellfire, Hellfire Returns arc. The Hellfire claps back. So what's going on here is that we have Kitty Pryde and Professor X hanging out. And all the X-Men get summoned in because dun dun dun, Kitty's parents are sending her to the Boston Academy. Now, the Boston Academy comes up a lot later, but it's pretty much ran by Emma Frost, which once the X-Men have a conversation about Kitty being forced to go or whatever, she takes off, and Aurora follows her later. And this is the point where Kitty shows her that, like, dun dun dun, Emma Frost, and then Aurora has, like, a flashback to when Emma Frost was torturing them all, and how they thought that the Phoenix killed her, but I guess not. In fact, we learned that all the Hellfire Club is doing just fine. Anyway, Aurora has more flashbacks and sad feelings about Kitty leaving because it's like a daughter to her. And then Kitty says bye to everybody and gets a big smooch to Peter before they take off. Aurora volunteers to drive her up to the Boston Academy or whatever it's called. And they get there, and it's super posh, and Kitty has to dress like super nice, which she doesn't like because she just wants to wear her bell bottoms and whatnot. Anyway, Aurora's hanging out in Kitty's room, and Kitty's off doing some other bullshit. Emma walks in, and zap! Something happens. Something strange, because as soon as Aurora says goodbye to Kitty and they hug it out, she drives off, and then she starts using Aurora's powers like very flagrantly. And she's super excited because dun dun dun, she switched places. Emma Frost has switched bodies with Aurora, and then she throws on her sweet ass like fur coat and starts smoking and calls Shaw because he's also doing just fine. We think of these two mooks. I feel like we've seen these guys before or see them later. It's Harvey and who's the other lady? And some lady. They're some Hellfire Club goons, and they're supposed to be keeping watch on this person and never letting them out because it's Aurora who's now in Emma Frost's body, and she's freaking out. We then switch over to the X-Men, where Nightcrawler is on a date with Amanda Sefton, his girlfriend slash adopted sister. When the Sentinels strike, oh no! They knock Nightcrawler out, but then Wolverine shows up, starts fighting. Colossus shows up. They fight some more. And Nightcrawler finally recovers. They're fighting. Cyclops is like sitting in a window, like up in the mansion, blasting Sentinels, and Professor X is scheming. At that point, Aurora, who is Emma Frost in Aurora's skin, drives up and helps defeat the Sentinels. And everyone's like, hooray, we did it. And then she zaps everybody. Ruh-roh. Meanwhile, back at the Boston Academy, Aurora, who's in Emma's skin, is unlocking doors and running away. And she's trying to fend off like the telepathy where she can like read people's minds. And she's thinking about all the advice Jean Grey gave her while she was still alive. Rest in peace. Or whatever. And then she storms into She storms into Kitty Pryde's room, and Kitty's like, "Oh no, I gotta run away!" So she tries to, but then Aurora kind of zaps her a bit. Doesn't kill her, thank goodness. But we're left on a cliffhanger, and that's issue number 151 of the Uncanny X-Men. And 152 picks up immediately afterwards. Well, not immediately afterwards, because we have we have Aurora and Emma and Kitty driving to the X Mansion, and Kitty like freaks out and like phases out of the car. They're being attacked by Emma and Aurora's skin, and then she zaps the car real good and it explodes, and she gets blasted away to protect herself, and she's, supposedly Aurora's dead in Emma's skin. And then we get like a recap of the previous issue before Kitty runs up and finds Emma Frost, and she has like a battle of her what do you call it? Her morals, whether she should save Emma Frost or not, but she does. Meanwhile, Emma, who's in Aurora's skin, flies into the X-Mansion. There's Shaw. She's all pissed off. She's like, I lost my body. They kiss. I don't remember them being together, but there they are. And then Kitty has tied up Emma's body with Aurora in it, and they have a conversation, and Aurora's trying to convince Kitty that it's actually her, not Emma Frost. And Kitty doesn't believe her because Emma's a telepath. Fair. That's fair. Then, but then Aurora's able to escape from the bonds because it's a knot that Kitty tied her with a knot that Aurora taught her. Right. Back at the X Mansion, all the X-Men are like tied up, and Cyclops is that dumb, goofy like ruby helmet on as he does sometimes, and they start beating the crap out of Wolverine. So apparently, Leland, who I also thought was dead, is not. He's a guy Wolverine like clobbered real hard with his like claws, but he's still kicking it. So I thought he had a heart attack at some point. Anyway, and then the goons here are like special goons because they're the goons that Wolverine like beat the shit out of and killed, quote unquote. But then now they're cyborgs, so they take him off to the Danger Room to fight him along with Leland. Meanwhile, Aurora and Kitty are teaming up with Stevie, who's Kitty's dance teacher and another like a mentor for her. And they drive up to the X Mansion, and then Stevie gets attacked by Shaw after they run off. It looks like Wolverine gets killed, which he can't die, so that's ridiculous. But what we're told immediately afterwards is that Amanda Sefton's got like some schemes up her because they're not accounting for her because she's not a mutant. She's like a magician, right? Anyway, so then Aurora uses the newfound telepathy powers because she's in Emma's body, and that's where the powers come from, on Kitty to help her figure out where stuff is at and help her how to, lock pick their way into like a secret entrance for the X-Men while she kind of hangs out and waits. So Kitty does that, and then Aurora gets attacked by Emma and Shaw, right? And then Kitty like opens a secret door and then closes it immediately, and so now they're inside. They're sneaking around, and they run into Wolverine, who's not dead at all. And he reveals, as we previously knew, if you paid attention at all to the art, that Amanda and him set up like a tricksy to make them think Wolverine's dead. They then go rescue the rest of the X-Men, and they start just like it's clobbering time. And the Wolverine's about to kill the cyborgs again, and he's like, "You're not even fucking worth it." And then Shaw comes in, and he gets blasted real good, and his powers absorb blasts, but they toss him out anyway, so it doesn't matter. And then Emma gets clobbered by Nightcrawler, and then she starts losing control of her powers, and then she zaps Shaw so much that it like overloads his system, which then she starts freaking out because it's like the lover and the head of the Hellfire Club, and it's like where a lot of the money's coming from. At that point, Aurora runs in as Emma and like goes into her brain, her own brain, who's now possessed by Emma Frost. When we learned that the changing of powers had nothing to do with telepathy or any mutant powers, is like a gun. It's a person changing gun. All right. So then they're flying around fighting, and then bam, there's a light, and then Emma's body starts to fall, and everyone's like, should we save her or not? Is that Aurora or is that Emma Frost? And the other X-Men don't have to do anything because Storm flies down and grabs her up. And then Emma's about to use telepathy, but then Storm like zaps her real good. It's like, you better not. And then Aurora's about to kill, even though she swore never to kill again after she was like, a little child murderer. And Wolverine stops her and says, leave the killing to me. And it's like, bro, I'm going to flip back through these pages a little bit. You didn't kill shit. Everyone you're supposed to be killed in this fucking thing. Like, just is moseyed on back as like cyborgs, or you're not actually dead. Anyway, so then someone's like, should we call the police? Like Kitty says that, and everyone's like, no, because we're both like, for both our safety, neither of us can say shit to anybody who's not like us, so we can have like our little squabble, but everyone else needs to say like, the fuck away. And then Emma's like, well, I'm going to take Shaw, and he's going to be out for a bit, but someday we will return, and we will fight again. And the X-Men are like, all right, get the fuck out of property, you asshole. And that wraps up the Hellfire Gambit arc here. So go ahead, like, share, subscribe, comment, and I will catch you guys later.